And hello, everyone. How you doing? It's Dave Bondy. We are coming to you live tonight. How you doing? It is Sunday night. We are live in our studio. Let me center myself up over here. Here we are. Where we are? Over here. Where? Right here. Got to get centered on the screen. We got some new lighting here. Got to play with that a little bit. Get it adjusted. Get it adjusted a little bit. Wow. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're on Substack, thank you. If you're watching on Locals, thank you very much. Whatever platform you're watching on, I really, really appreciate it. We have some breaking news that's happening out of Minnesota. A lot of crazy stuff been happening out of Minnesota lately. And I'm going to give you a look at some video that happened earlier today and some stuff that is actually happening tonight. So our big story that we're going to be getting into in just a little bit, and I'm going to show that to you. The video or an interview. I'm sorry, boy. I've been rushing around. We've been making changes to the set. We've been building a new area of the studio for my wife to have her own set. So when we do our show, she will have her own location where she can go live from as well. And if Katie, if she has her own show, she can go live from her studio, and I have my studio. So this would be Studio A. Hers would be Studio B. It's in the dark right now, but it's still we're waiting for some more equipment to arrive, and then she'll be able to be maintaining her area in her studio. But it's great to see everyone here. We are on a new software. We're on StreamYard. I used to use this software before, but we're going back to it because I was having too many issues with the previous software that we had before. So I'm really happy that we're on this software right now. And I'm able to put your comments up. Michigan Daffodil, thank you. Glad to see you here. Be Happy says, I'm here, I think. Yes, you are. Legend, hello, Legend. How are you doing? It's great to see you as well, Legend. It's great to see all of you. If you're watching on Substack or Locals, I am not able to put your comments on the screen. We're still having that happen. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate it. Young and Free. Hello, everyone. Yes, I had a birthday yesterday. I turned 51 years old. So I'm looking forward to getting the AARP mail. Actually, I was getting the AARP mail about 10 years ago. Do any of you get the AARP mail and you're not even 50 years old yet? Yeah. So anyway, our story tonight, the big story tonight, is about hiring practices. When a company hires for a job, a company, a school, a government, no matter who it is, should the best person get the job? That's my question. Should the best person qualified get the job? And I think the answer for most of you is going to be yes. The best person qualified should most likely be hired, right? Lady is shy. You forgot your password for Locals. That's okay, Lady is shy. It's glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. So Michigan says that the best person should be hired. And if you're watching on Substack, let me know as well what you think. I think this would be common sense that the best person should get the job. Well, in Wisconsin, in a school district there, this is not happening. I'm told it's not happening. They are hiring people based on several other factors. And we're going to be getting into that in just a little bit. But first, I want to give you an update on the situation that's happening in Minnesota. Something disturbing happened at a church earlier today. I believe this was a Catholic church. I'm not sure if this is a Catholic church. I believe it is. The guy who used to work at CNN, Don Lemon, him and a bunch of protesters stormed into a church because there was some rumors that the pastor or someone who works for the church also worked for ICE. Okay. And they stormed into the church, creating chaos. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm giving my opinion. I always have to say when it's my opinion, I give you my opinion. But I want to show you this video. I want you to take a look at this and see what you think. I'm going to play a little bit and then I'll turn the audio down. Renee good! Renee good! Renee good! Renee good! Hands up! Don't shoot! Okay, so I'm going to lower the audio. We don't need to hear from those people anymore. But they went into this church, disturbing the church, and I think this is absolutely vile, horrible behavior. And I don't care who you are, left, right, center. There's no reason for them to be in a church. It makes no sense whatsoever. A lot of people are commenting that security should have handled this. I don't know if there was security there. I don't know if they were able to handle this whatsoever. But this is what's happening in Minnesota. And I don't even call this protesting. I don't, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever. But that happened earlier today in Minnesota. Someone just says on YouTube, who is it here? PO1655, get your house in order. Jesus is coming back soon. Hey, you're entitled to say that. And you never know. You never know, everybody. Every day is, we're all lucky to be alive. So let me bring back and show you just about a half hour ago. Do any of you know, hey, Michigan Affordable, you're going to want to stay tuned because this interview is going to impact you. So does anyone know Nick Sorter? He's a friend of mine. He's an independent journalist. I've had him on my show before. He's an independent journalist, Nick Sorter. I'm friends with him. Really cool guy. Well, he just had an incident a short time ago in Minneapolis. He was on, apparently went into his vehicle in Minneapolis and stole his camera gear. Let me show you this video as well. This happened just a short time ago in Minnesota.
Hey, get! What did she just do? Fucking...
Oh, shit. Okay, it's okay.
She took Nick's camera. She just stole Nick's camera. Let's get her.
No, give him the camera. You're gonna give him the camera.
Just tell her to give him the camera back.
Give him the camera.
What happened, Nick?
They just stole my camera.
Right out of your hand while you're in the car?
That's what the fuck you wanted, right? That's the fuck you wanted, right? That's what you did. Man, listen, motherfucker, you better get the fuck up out of here.
My daughter.
You fucking coward. Why the fuck are you a coward, bitch?
You have.
So that's what happened in Minnesota to Nick Sorter, independent journalist, just a short time ago. Someone stole his camera, apparently, according to him. That's the video that you're seeing right there out of Minnesota. The protests are continuing, and it all started with the shooting of Renee Good. She's the person that Homeland Security said rammed her vehicle into an ICE officer, and they say he had no choice but to open fire. There are obviously people who disagree with that, saying that the ICE officer should be charged with a crime, but he has not been charged with a crime. He actually he was injured greatly during that incident. He is now out of the hospital. So that is what's happening on the ground right now, and that is happening in Minneapolis. Everybody, sorry, there we go. I'm learning our new software right here, just trying to play with it and get the bugs out with our new software. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Well, the problem is someone just said in the comments that we need more police, and I want to know what you think about this. Hold on. Be Happy says yes. They are harming them every day. Someone said, pray for our independent journalists on the ground. Yeah, I would like to be on the ground, but I'm not able to be there in Minneapolis at this time. But it obviously is a dangerous situation. So that's happening right there. So yeah, that is happening in Minneapolis. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if anything else comes through on the ground. It's been a pretty much quiet weekend other than that. It has been a cold weekend here in Michigan, where I am, really, really cold. So and it's going to be getting even colder. Most of you have tomorrow, if you're working government jobs or school jobs, many of you have tomorrow off of work, and I'm gonna keep working for all of you. And tomorrow, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we remember the sacrifice and what he did for our country. He's an individual that should be honored and praised, and I will be talking about that tomorrow. I'll be talking about it tomorrow as well. So let me bring up something on the stage right here. I don't know if you can see this. You may have to take a closer look. I was at Little Caesars just a short time ago. Jake and camera. What? Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So apparently there is a penny shortage. Due to a discontinuation of the penny, Little Caesars will be rounding cash change to the nearest 5 cents with pennies unavailable. And you can see down here, they're going to be rounding down or rounding up, depending on this chart. So this is going to be happening at Little Caesars. It might be happening at your grocery stores as well. I did not eat the Little Caesars. I picked it up for someone, and then I snapped this picture while I was there. So that's happening at Little Caesars. The great penny shortage of 2026 apparently is happening. The great penny shortage of 2026. Thank you, Wingnut, for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. You have my sympathy to deal with that cold. Naomi from Texas is watching. Kay Bondy is watching, everybody, on Locals. Kay Bondy is a dedicated supporter. I'm looking at her studio over there, Studio B. That's Katie's studio. It's coming along. Her studio might be even cooler than mine. I'm jealous of her desk, actually. For those of you who don't know, if you're on Substack or X or whatever, my wife has a desk down here. We're building a studio for her, and hers is much better. Also, if you're watching, everybody, on my Locals and my Substack on X, we have an investigation about the city of Dearborn. Tom Gantert, who is a special writer, a freelancer that I have hired, and he's going to be contributing to my platforms. I encourage you to follow him on Substack. His name is Tom Gantert, Gantert. I published the article yesterday. He digs deep into what is really going on in Dearborn, from terrorism to the political divide. So many things happening in the city of Dearborn. He breaks it all down for you. You may have saw that article that I put out. I put it out the other day. So watching right now is Heather Dow, everybody. If you don't know who Heather Dow is, you need to get to know her. Heather Dow is on the platform X, Twitter. She is someone who obviously leans conservatively, but she makes amazing memes and graphics. And she was away from Twitter for quite some time, maybe about a year, but she's back now. Thank you. Thank you, Heather, for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. So, yeah, Tom Gantert wrote that piece, and I have it on my Substack and on my Locals community, and you can learn a lot more about the city of Dearborn and what is going on in the city of Dearborn, everybody. Heather Dow, absolutely. Giving the good people a plug out, and you are one of the good ones. Thank you. Okay, so I want to get into what is happening in Wisconsin. There is a school district that is accused of hiring people based on other factors other than being qualified for the job. Okay? And a federal complaint has been filed against this school district. I did an interview with the organization that filed this federal complaint, and I'm finding out that actually this is happening all over the country. I got a call from Michigan today that teachers and others are being hired not for their qualifications, but for other factors. I'm going to play this interview right now. Watch this interview. Let me know what you think, if this is fair. Is this how you want your teachers and your staff members at public schools being hired? Watch this. Joining me now, Michael Chamberlain, Protecting the People's Trust. Great to see you, sir.
Great to be with you, David. Thanks for having me, Dave.
Explain real quick, what is your group? What do you focus on? What is your mission?
Our mission is to monitor ethics in government and try to help restore the public's trust in government. And that's hence our name, Protect the Public's Trust.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And I'm in Michigan, and we're going to be talking about a case in Wisconsin, but it seems like public trust in education is really failing lately. It feels like it's public schools versus parents, and it seems like everyone's on a different side, but it should be about transparency and trust. But as you know now, it's not happening all the time.
No, it's not happening all the time, Dave. And the schools have kind of turned on the parents in some cases, and there's been lots of contention between parents and what they're teaching and what the schools are teaching in schools, and in a lot of cases parents don't think they have a voice in their schools, and so that this has been going on. I think that COVID really exacerbated it, but it could have been, I think it's something that's been building for quite a while.
Yeah. This case, we're talking about a Wisconsin school district. They've been hit with a federal complaint for allegedly using race-based hiring practices and prioritizing diversity over qualifications. And I would think this is not a political issue. This, I think, parents want the absolute best people teaching their children. I'm assuming that should be a universal thing.
That should be a universal thing. You would think that parents would want the best teachers in the classrooms to get the best opportunities and create the best opportunities for their kids. However, that's not happening in every case. And in some cases, and in fact, the school district that we filed the complaint against, it appears that they're using other factors in their hiring practices, and they're using race-based criteria in hiring. And they even talk about their goal of increasing the staff diversity, as they call it, from 10% to 25%. And those kinds of numeric goals for schools, as far as the race-based criteria, or for students and teachers and other aspects of schools, those are things that courts have frowned upon for a long time. That's not new.
Yeah. So we're talking about the West. Is it Alice?
West Alice, West Milwaukee School District.
Okay.
And
so
this is right in their strategic plan for 2025 to 2030. They spell it right out there explicitly.
So, yeah. And so this isn't something, I can bring it up on the screen here, I think. While I do that, I can ask you. So this isn't something that you had to, it was really leaked. It was out there. It was public. They weren't hiding this.
They weren't hiding this. We found out about it from a concerned citizen who sent us the link to it after we had filed a complaint against another school district for similar types of actions. And this concerned citizen sent us the link to this and highlighted it to us, and we looked through it. We did our research and we did legal research on it, and we filed the complaint after that.
Yeah, I'm looking. This is it now that you have. I was looking at the article, and there's a link to it right here. So it look, and I'll put a link to this in the story that I'm doing, but it spells it all out there. Very interesting. So what is the complaint? What does it actually say? What is the argument? I mean, obviously you said courts have frowned upon this, and they've ruled against this in many instances. What is the
so the complaint? The complaint we filed was it's a request for investigation into possible violations of the Civil Rights Act. So we contend that these sort of policies violate Title VI and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Title VI prohibits discrimination on the basis of race and other characteristics in dealing with students, and Title VII deals with prohibits discrimination based upon race and ethnicity and other characteristics in hiring and in employment. So we contend that their strategic plan and that what they're doing there, it violates the Civil Rights Act, and the Department of Education, or those laws apply to any entity, any school that receives federal funding, which is every public school. They receive federal funding, and so that gives the fact that they receive federal funding, that gives the U.S. Department of Education the ability to look into this and make sure that they're complying with the law.
Do we know in this instance, and I know across the country, teachers unions have a major impact on things. Do we have any idea? Do the teachers unions have any role in this at all, or that maybe not part of the investigation? But do they play hand in hand with districts with this sort of thing?
That's not part of our investigation in this
Okay.
case, but across the country, the influence of teachers unions is, and you probably know, I think in Michigan, it's probably extreme and severe, and where I live, it's very extreme, and the teachers unions have an outsized influence on the policies and the strategies that the school districts employ.
Yeah, because the goal, I have an 8 and a 12-year-old. The goal should be the best education for the child.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, in Wisconsin, what does this do for the education of the children? This kind of program, what do you say it does?
Well, we claim that it violates the law, and I think that the one of the things that you have to look at is this school district in particular, just specifically since we're talking about it, the West Dallas, West Milwaukee School District, 2/3 of the third graders are not proficient in literacy. 2/3 of the eighth graders are not proficient in math. The school district is not accomplishing the reason that it exists. Is it's not accomplishing that, but they seem to be focused on these other areas, and whether that's a reason for this is, who knows? It could be, but it certainly wouldn't seem to me that it would be helping. And that's, focusing on these other areas and these other priorities and these other dogmas and these other ideologies. I don't know that that's going to be helpful towards student learning.
Yeah. We're dealing with the same thing in Michigan, not necessarily with this, but there's all these other things they're focusing on, and our reading scores have gone down tremendously. So legally, what should be happening is what, and I say it as I'm not a lawyer, or as a common parent, it should be what with any job, the best person, the most qualified. Like, I don't care who you are, if you can teach my child and better their life, I want you in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of parents feel that same way. Unfortunately, parents in a lot of cases haven't been able to have the voice in the decisions that are made by their school districts and the decisions about what happens with their kids. I think that having a great teacher in every classroom is a goal that every school district should have. And policies like this, set aside the legality of it, policies such as these don't seem to be furthering that goal.
Is this happening? You got a tip on this, but I'm assuming it's happening across the country.
I bet so far we've filed complaints against universities and schools and school districts in several states across the country, and places that you wouldn't even think of, like Utah and Iowa. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And I worked at the U.S. Department of Education for 4 years, and I saw some of this. It doesn't matter if you live in a red state or a blue state, or a red county or a blue county, or an urban, suburban, or rural school district. There's a good chance that these kinds of policies and these kinds of strategies are happening in your district.
And correct me, I'm learning, the Supreme Court, wasn't there a ruling when it comes to universities or college, or what is, like University of Michigan, I believe it was actually in our own state. Wasn't there a ruling on this sort of thing?
There was a ruling on this. Yeah, the Students for Fair Admissions in Harvard decision several years ago, and in that case, the Chief Justice Roberts said that essentially that discrimination is discrimination. It doesn't matter who it benefits and who it harms. It's wrong, and it shouldn't be happening in the schools.
So that just does not impact universities. That decision, and like I said, I'm not a lawyer, I'm still learning, that impacts everything, right?
Well, the decision specifically dealt with universities, okay, and it dealt with their admissions policies, but the decision was broader than that. But the federal government, with respect to K through 12 schools, they already have the ability to monitor this at schools and ensure that the schools are doing the right thing, and they're not discriminating.
Gotcha. What's the next step? So you filed this, is the Department of Education, who investigates? Is it the Department of Ed?
That we filed with all three of the agencies that could have jurisdiction over this: the Department of Education, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Justice. Now, all of them have offices for civil rights, and they have teams that investigate this kind of thing. Now, the Department of Education currently, they have the ability to hold back funding from schools that violate these laws, and so that's probably the primary agency that would look into this. But again, these others, HHS and DOJ, also could have jurisdiction as well.
Does this hopefully then, for on your behalf, send a message to other districts? And if they are investigated, if their money is pulled, whatever happens, this is kind of a wake-up call or a message that, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, right?
We hope that other districts that may be doing something like this are looking at this, and at the very least knowing that somebody is watching what they're doing, and that they should do the right thing. They need to comply with civil rights laws. And so if something that they're doing, some policies or some of the plans that they have, or some of the curriculum that they're using doesn't comply with this, then with the law, then they need to take a look at it. And so we're hoping that other districts will notice, and they'll at the very least understand that somebody's watching.
Yeah. Last question I have: how important is it for even one parent? I'm hearing more and more are speaking up, but even one parent can make a difference. Like you said, someone spoke out in Wisconsin. All it takes is one parent and to get a voice. It's really important, because I'm seeing more and more parents stepping up, correct?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It does. It can just take one person to stand up and to point out what's wrong, and to get that information to the right people. So one person can make a huge difference.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to be following this. Is this a slow process, or we don't know how it evolves?
It can be a slow process at times. The Department of Education just announced earlier this week that they have begun investigations for violations of Title IX at 18 different schools and universities earlier this week. And some of those, I think the complaints regarding those were months ago. So this is a process that can take some time before it gets all the way through. But we're hoping that things that they take a look at these and investigate, and they if they find something wrong, that they take the appropriate action.
Gotcha. At least definitely put them on alert that they're being watched.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's important, that they know. If people don't think that anybody's watching and nobody's paying attention, they're going to do whatever they want. So we have to make sure that the parents and organizations like ours and people like you make sure that they understand that there is somebody that's watching.
Okay, I really appreciate it. I'll put the link to your organization below so people can learn more. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thanks a lot for having me, Dave. Anytime. We'll be happy to come back and give you an update or anything if we have when we have other actions.
There you go. Yeah. So what do you think about that? The school district, a federal complaint filed because they're not hiring, or allegedly not hiring, people based on qualifications. They're doing it because of race or other factors, allegedly. Thank you very much for the interview right there. Thank you, Jennifer, for reposting this. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so a lot going on with the public school system. And I also wanted everyone to know that I have reached out to, or I am in the process of reaching out to the candidates for governor. So far, I have interviewed Carla Wagner, Ralph Rebant. I'm going to be interviewing Eric Nesbitt tomorrow. Tom Leonard, I believe, on Thursday. Working with John James's team to try to set up an interview with him. and I've also talked to Anthony Hudson. I am also reaching out to the Democrats. I would love to interview Jocelyn Benson, Chris Swanson as well. Garland Gilchrist dropped out of the race, but I am looking forward to interviewing all of the candidates for Michigan governor, and Mike Duggan as well, independent Mike Duggan. I would love to have all of them on the show and give all of them a chance to talk. I will give a half hour to all of the candidates and have them on. That will be, I will start playing those possibly next week. I want to have one interview a day. Heather Dow wants to know, will I interview the Secretary of State candidates? I think I need to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the governor candidates for the governor's race. And then I think the Attorney General will be next, and then Secretary of State. Anthony Forlini. I would like to interview Anthony Forlini as well. So I will work on that first. I'm going to get the governor's race out of the way first. I'm going to interview all the candidates for governor, and then we will work on the other races, because I believe the primary is in August when it comes to the governor's race. But I think the Attorney General, that's done through the delegates, I believe it is. They pick who the Attorney General candidate will be through the delegates. So I don't think the people get to vote in a primary in that. So that's going to be, I think, the delegates. So yeah, I will be looking at, the convention is in March. So I would still, there's a lot of delegates out there. So I will try to do that as well. But once again, I'm only one person, so I can do what I can do. And for the candidates who do not want to be interviewed, I will let you know as well who they are. I have one rule when I interview the candidates. I will not give them the questions in advance. And if anyone wants to have the questions in advance, I will not do that. I will not do the interview. In my reporting career, I have never given the questions in advance to anyone, even President Donald Trump. When I interviewed Trump, his team wanted to know what I was going to ask. But I did not give them the questions. What I did say, well, we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about the Flint water crisis. We're going to talk about the economy. That's fair, but I'm not giving direct questions to anybody. But I will take your questions, and you can post that on social media. A lot of you have been asking questions of the candidates, and I take your questions, and I will ask your questions to the candidates. So I like getting everyone else involved. This is not just about me. This is involving all of you as well. And I really appreciate all of you being here. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. Okay, everybody. Let me show you. For those of you who don't know, we have a new puppy. His name is Snoopy. My wife just posted a picture on Locals. Locals is the other platform that we're on, one of the platforms that we're on. So some of you may not be able to see the picture, but I'm going to bring it up on the screen right now. Let me find it here. See if we can bring it up. That is Snoopy, everybody. Take a look. Oh, where are you going here, Snoopy? Where are you going? Okay, there it is. That is Snoopy, everybody. Snoopy the dog. That is our new mini golden doodle. Our dog we had, Rosie, passed away. We took her to the veterinarian, found out that she was really, really suffering. And we did not want to prolong that suffering at all. So that is Rosie right there. I'm sorry. That is Snoopy. My 12-year-old named him, and it's been a while since I've had a puppy, and I have a lot of bite marks and a lot of blood drawn on my hands from Snoopy. Snoopy is 3 months old, really likes to bite, but that's what puppies do at this age. Apparently they like to bite. My wife calls him, I think Crazy Pants. Is that the name? I know Scott said Crazy Pants. I believe he is Crazy Pants. But yeah, no shedding. That's the good news with this puppy. No shedding. Thank you, Heather Dow. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And yes, Snoopy is very cute. And I forgot what it's like raising a puppy. And they are literally little babies. I'm having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning now to let him out. I'm downstairs here in the studio, and I think I hear him upstairs. Don't use your hands to play. Hide them, says Naomi. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm learning a lot about the pups, learning a lot about Snoopy as well. Michigan Daffodil says the doodle is very high energy, high chance of allergies. Good luck. Yeah, you know, every dog has their fair share of issues as well. So I've had shelter dogs before. I've had many different kind of dogs before. But this dog is a lovable dog. Okay, I'm just seeing a video that's just coming out of Chicago. That's very interesting. This happened late this afternoon. Let me take Snoopy off the screen here. Goodbye, Snoopy. Okay, that was Snoopy, everybody. There was an incident involving a United Airlines flight, avoided disaster after the nose wheel appears to detach from the landing gear. Let me bring this up. Very interesting video. If you're scared of flying, you may not want to look at this. This happened just a short time ago. Let me find this here, everybody. Still working. It's been a while since I've used this software, so I'm still working on it. Let's take a look at this video. This happened at O'Hare Airport this afternoon.
Oh, shit.
Ow.
Oh! Something popped off.
Let's take a look at this again. If you look closely, the landing gear, it looks like the landing gear, that wheel fell off. Let me play it again.
Oh, shit. Oh! Something.
That's not good. No one was hurt. That's the good news. But still, flying is the safest way to travel. A lot of people, some people don't think so, but it definitely is still the safest way to travel. That happened at O'Hare Airport. Or no, I'm sorry. That happened in Orlando. My bad. Orlando, MCO. I forgot MCO is Orlando. That happened at Orlando International Airport earlier today. So good luck. Prayers to everyone on that. But good news, everyone is okay as well. And for those of you, okay, I don't trust airplanes. Scott Stillwell says, yeah. Jamie EMS says, my toddler bit me all the time. Jamie EMS, thank you for your comments. Really appreciate you being here. Heather Dow, flying is safer than driving around Grand Rapids. Yeah, I bet. Jennifer says, get Snoopy an elk antler to chew on. He would probably love an elk antler. We need to do that. Yeah, I'll probably do that because I'm scared, though, that he'll choke. Won't he choke if he gets something loose from it? Because I had my Jack Russell Terrier way back in the day. I think he had one of those greenies or something, and he started choking on it. So I worry about that. But whatever. Okay. Okay, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. Once again, thank you, everyone, for watching on Locals, on Substack, on Rumble, on X. This has been a great show, everybody. Thank you for being here. And coming up on Thursday, I'm not sure yet we're going to have on the show. I have a lot of stories that I'm working on, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate all of you being here, and I hope everyone has a great week. Amen, everybody. Thank you so much. And if you are not a paid subscriber yet, whatever platform you're watching on right now, there should be a button down below. If you hit the button, you can become a paid subscriber for $6 a month. I cannot do this independent journalism without all of you. If you're watching on X, just go to my profile and click on the subscribe button. Support my mission of independent journalism I'm giving you the stories that the media may not necessarily always give you, and I'm working my behind off to do it. Talk to all of you later. Amen.